I was gonna put this in my vlog, but this deserves its own video. I want to talk about relationships, and I want to talk about it at our young age. Let me get some water.
Yeah, baby girl was thirsty.
Okay, so yeah, back to square one. I want to talk about relationships. In our day and age, in our generation, everybody is so toxic. Like, you find some couples that are not toxic, but a lot of us are super toxic. And even the relationships that we don't think are toxic, they're toxic. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody is just so toxic. And I wanted to talk about that. A lot of us youngins, I'm 22 years old, so yeah, we're still young. Like, we literally just got out of the teenage era, or we're still in the young adult era. But a lot of us are jumping out of high school, jumping out of college, and are straight looking for love. Like, we want to be in a relationship. We want to date to marry. Nothing wrong with dating to marry, but we're just choosing to do it at the wrong time. We're looking for a relationship. We are looking to fall in love. We're looking for a partner. We're looking for someone who can, be a companionship with. We're looking for someone to build with. And the problem with that is a lot of us haven't healed ourselves. We haven't done the work. We're looking to love someone else when we don't love ourselves completely. And that's where we mess up at. A lot of us have traumas that we have not worked through. And I know a lot of y'all are going to say, oh, I don't have traumas. I can't think of anything that happened in my life that caused trauma, or I can't think of anything in my childhood. It's not always in your childhood, boo. It's not always in your childhood. I can't think of anything at all that would have caused me trauma. So let's talk about it. I'm going to talk about me, for instance, because you'd be like, oh, that's trauma? Personally, my mom was always at work and always clubbing. She was always out. So she was never really fully there for me when I was growing up. And, she was having her own stuff that she was dealing with. Like I said, we have traumas that we haven't worked through. So her way of going through her traumas was just being distracted all the time. So no, she wasn't really there with me all the time. There was nights when my sister basically stepped up and did a lot of the mommy work that my mom wasn't able to do, because she chose to work, or she chose to go out to the club, or chose to go kick it with, certain people, So at times my sister had to step in and make brownies with me because I cried to my sister about my mom not even being around to make brownies. Or my sister would take me over her house and we would make gingerbread house together, and we would just sit and chill. She would do a lot of the mommy duties. And you think about that and it's like, yeah, that hurt me, and I felt some type of way, but how is that a trauma? How is that a trauma? That's a trauma, baby. That is a trauma. It's an abandonment trauma. You feel like your mom wasn't there, so now you have abandonment issues. So you go on in life and you reflect off of every single person with those issues. Like, your man goes missing for 2 hours because he went hooping, and you automatically think he's with a girl, or he found somebody new, or he's done talking to you. And I'm guilty of this. I am certainly guilty of this, because I have those abandonment issues. And a lot of people have left my life young. Like my dad, he was in and out of jail. My nephew died when he was only 8. I wasn't even 14 years old yet. My sister died when I was 15 years old. And she didn't even get to see me graduate. She didn't get to see me turn 18. She didn't get to take my first shot with me at 21. Well, I was taking shots before that, but she wasn't able to do any of that stuff. And that counts as abandonment issues. These people left me too soon, I feel like. And I will be on Instagram talking about, oh, I'm so sorry you left me, and I'm sad that you left me, or why would you leave me like this, and why would you leave me out in this cold world, and stuff like that. And of course, that's abandonment issues. But when you work through that stuff, you don't look at it as you abandoned me. You look at it as, okay, It was your time. It was your time. You were in my life and you taught me everything that I needed to know. You made me feel everything that I needed to feel. Everything happens for a reason. So once you're healed, you start thinking like that instead of thinking, why did you leave me? You know what I'm saying? So we just have to go inside and we have to do the work. And small things is traumatizing and we don't realize it. Like, I'm trying to think of another example of like trauma that we don't even realize. Like, your mom used to call you stupid just because you did something wrong. Now you go through your whole life thinking that everything that you do is stupid because your mom continuously called you stupid. That's trauma. You're traumatized. And now you are acting off of that because that's who you think that you are. And you're not. And the whole key to it is going inside, doing the work, uncovering everything that you think is wrong with you. And everything that you seem to have a problem with. You know what I'm saying? And uncovering every issue that you have. Even if it's, I keep quitting my job. Why do I keep quitting my job? You keep quitting your job for a certain reason. Personally, I quit 8 jobs within the last 2 years. And a lot of it is from abandonment issues. Instead of working out, whatever I had to work out with that job, I just quit and called it a day. And I didn't have to do that. But also, on another note, I know that I'm not supposed to be working under a company because these companies are making money off of us and we're letting them, and all they're giving us is a paycheck every 2 weeks. That's not really doing anything. That's not supporting us. A lot of us are living paycheck to paycheck. It's not worth it. Anyways, so we just have a lot of traumas that we have to work through. So yeah, we do have to write these things out. And even if you don't want to write, therapists are always there. I prefer not to pay a therapist because they are really costly. And I'm not really interested in somebody else. A lot of people are not really in this work to do what they're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And there we go. I have trauma. I have trust issues. That's my trauma coming out. I don't trust people in the work industry, and I don't trust that they're really here for my best interest because I have trust issues. Because somebody lied to me once, or, you know, everything, it's not just once, but sometimes it is just once. That one time can just cause a traumatic effect on you. But personally, I don't deal with therapists. I feel like everything that you need is inside of here. A therapist is just going to help you get to that. And personally, I have done a lot of work over these last 2 years. I actually went through a training called Next Level Training, and it's like a leadership program. And this is exactly what we did. We went through all of our rackets. Rackets are basically like effects of our trauma, if you get what I'm saying. So like, let's say one of my rackets is I don't trust people. I don't trust people because I have trust issues, you know? So we went through that and we went to the roots of it. Why do we feel this way? Why? And then once you get to the root of that, you realize the reason why you feel this way and the reason why it has such a big impact on you in your life is because you didn't choose to forgive. You chose to hold that grudge. You chose to hold that feeling. Instead of learning from that feeling and letting it go, you choose to let that feeling that event have a hold on you. And now when you think about relationships, you think about how your first ex did you so dirty and now you can't trust another man. But in reality, you just gotta forgive. You gotta forgive. So I just feel like in this generation, a lot of our problems come from not doing the work. And when you do the work, you understand that life is life. People need to be forgiven. And it is what it is. You gotta forgive. You can't hold on to all that stuff. Because just imagine if you don't forgive that one ex that cheated on you, then you're gonna think everybody else cheated on you. And then you might even be the one cheating because you want to beat them from cheating first. Like with relationships, our relationships that we have had in the past, they are literally a true reflection of us, whether we want to believe it or not. Yeah, when we get in that relationship, it's all cool, it's all dandy. We relate, we agree on a lot of stuff. We went through the same stuff in childhood, but y'all don't realize how much y'all agree with each other. It's also how much y'all are going to clash with each other because y'all both have these issues that y'all have never worked through. And honestly, a lot of people, they don't get to this point where they want to until they want to work. They don't get to this point where they want to work through their issues until it's 10 years later, until they're 30, until they're 35, until they're 50 and single, or until they're 50 and getting divorced. They don't realize that they never worked through this and now they want to do the self-work. So I just feel like, honestly, in our generation, we can lead by example because let's be honest, a lot of our parents don't know this. They don't know that the true thing that you have to do is work through your traumas and forgive. Like, just imagine when you become whole, when you let everything that has once had a hold on you and caused you negative emotion, just imagine when you finally let all of that go and don't let it affect you. You're living your best life every single day. You're at peace. You love yourself. You know, you're in love with life. You start looking at birds and fucking realizing how beautiful they are. I saw 2 pigeons walk past me today. Like, they were literally on my 3rd floor of my apartment complex, walking past. And I'm like, that shit is crazy. I had to record it because, like, that's beautiful. Seeing these birds this close, that was actually beautiful. And their walk was so cute. But you start doing stuff like that. You start romanticizing life. Instead of romanticizing people, you start romanticizing life. You start falling in love with life. You start falling in love with everything else. But first, you fall in love with yourself. And then, initially, the universe brings you somebody who is a reflection of you. So my thing to you is, would you rather have a reflection of you that is hurt and broken? Or would you rather have a reflection of you who is put together and complete? 2 halves might make a whole, but it's not full, if you get what I mean. Now 2 completes, they get together, there you go. Y'all rocking out. Your honey, boo child. Yeah. So I just honestly feel like that is a problem in our society at this day and age. We are normalizing toxicity, however you say it. We're normalizing being toxic because we don't realize that we have issues that need to be worked through instead of issues that need to be reflected. Instead of saying, oh, I don't trust these hoes because my last girlfriend, da-da-da-da-da, we go through our whole life not trusting these hoes. Instead of, they did me wrong, I felt this way, I forgave, and it is what it is. I'm moving on with my life. That has no effect on me. It's not going to affect me right here. It's not going to affect me right there. It's not going to affect my love life. It's not going to affect my relationships with my family. You get what I'm saying? So we just all need to do the work. You can either journal to do the work, you can talk to a therapist to do the work, whatever really floats your boat. But like I said, I went through that training, and that training has helped me a lot. I realized a lot of problems that I never even realized in my life. Like problems that are so small. And I'm like, damn, this is why I do that? But that training is called Next Level, and honestly, it's worth it. It's worth that $800 or a band or the scholarship, however you want to do it. But it's definitely worth it. And I feel like if you just want to be your best self, start by healing yourself. Start by healing yourself. Start by letting go, letting the past be, and just forgiving and learning to love. And love is always going to be the best thing ever, as long as you treat love right. You love yourself, and then everything else comes into play. So that was just my little TED Talk, and I want to thank you for coming. That was actually my Jamaica J talk on relationships. And I'm 22 years old, okay? I don't know if I said this or not, but I'm 22 years old and I've obviously learned a lot through life. And honey, I'm gonna be married. I'm gonna be married with a rock on my finger, okay? And I'm not gonna be in a toxic marriage. I want to date when I am healed, when I'm full, when I'm complete. That way I can find another complete person and it could be fucking magical. And that stuff does happen, you know? A lot of people even get in relationships and they do the work together. But sometimes that doesn't even get to happen because you have one person who wants to do the work and you have one person that doesn't. So my advice is do the work yourself, and then the universe will bring you exactly what you want. Now I'm all smiley because we're talking about love, but yeah. When I say the key is forgiveness, you don't even have to tell that person, like, let's say it's a person that died. You don't have to tell that person face to face that you forgive them. You can write it out. You can write a letter. You don't even have to send a letter if the person is still alive. You can literally you can literally meditate and forgive that person. Like, meditation is not what y'all really think it is. Meditation is focusing on one subject. You know how our mind just runs crazy? When you calm your mind down, you can have your mind focus on one thing. And fucking meditate. Imagine that person is standing right in front of you and tell them that you forgive them. Or call them on the phone if they're 300 miles away. Tell them that you forgive them. Or text them and tell them that you forgive them. But when you text them and tell them that you forgive them, you need to mean it. Actually mean that you forgive them. Don't say that you forgive them and then treat them a certain way. Treat them the exact same way 2 days later, because in reality, you never truly forgave them. Think about your peace. Think about your sanity. Because at the end of the day, you not forgiving is only messing with those things. So how bad do you really want that? How bad do you really want to let go of your past and forgive certain people and certain issues that has happened in order for you to gain your peace and your sanity back? Like, when we came in this world, we were truly peaceful. Nothing was wrong. Like, we were just happy babies. And then probably right before 1 year old or right after 1 year old, that's when the world started coming to us and trauma just started hitting us left and right. Just forgive. The whole thing is to forgive. Forgiveness is really key. And you have to actually mean it when you forgive. So write it out. Say that you forgive them. Thank y'all for coming to my Jamaica J talk again, because it's truly appreciated. And like and subscribe, because we have a lot of gems that will be dropping, because I really talk my shit for real. And it's just life. It's just stuff that happens in life. And I really wanted to talk about our relationship problems in this era. And honestly, that broadens out to friendship problems, to regular problems that we have on a day-to-day basis, to financial problems, to security problems, to all of it. So just do the work. And I hope y'all have a happy life.